Dominic, let's do the AEW Draft.
Yes. So, cue the music. Last week, we picked our general managers, but we're changing our general managers.
What is that music playing right now?
You hear it. You hear it. It's playing right now. Now, it won't be playing on YouTube because we'll have copyright issues. But
oh, shit. Okay, we'll go ahead.
But it'll be playing somewhere.
I did my phony look around.
I know it. But, yeah, we changed. So our idea, what we did on our previous podcast, we did a 1990s wrestler draft, and we picked team captains. Obviously, we went with our favorite wrestlers. Marcus picked Kevin Nash. I picked Scott Hall. But so what we did last week is we started picking figures from AEW to be our team captains, a.k.a. general managers, a.k.a. like authority figures in a good way, not like
non-wrestlers who have been on AEW TV.
And nobody that's like going to take away the heat from any of the talent on. They're there to make the appearance and to look credible and to present the product in the proper fashion. So, Marcus, you initially picked Tony Schiavone. I initially then picked Eric Bischoff, which are good picks, for good reasons. But we're making some changes. So I sent you a text this past week. Marcus, I'm allowing you, though, to pick first. Who is your new general manager?
All right, Dominic, I'm going for Bret Hart. I'm just kidding.
I was going to be the fucker.
I'm going with Mike Tyson, Dominic.
Whoa!
Yeah, the greatest of all time, maybe in the pro boxing industry. He made an early appearance in AEW, and I love Iron Mike. I don't know why I didn't pick him in the first place. Mike Tyson is my GM.
That's a real curveball, but that's an interesting one though too. So, how about that? Well, yeah. Well, you kind of almost crapped on me there. I'm going Bret Hart. Bret Hart is mine. Presented.
The fact that you let me pick first, I was like, I could do it.
I know you could do it. You could have done it. Boy, that's a babyface move on your part. Yeah, Bret Hart's mine. He presented the AEW title for the very first time. Amazing moment in wrestling, and I think he's the perfect person to have for this because you want him to seldomly appear, but when he does, he's already got that legacy established, and I think having Bischoff would have been great, but Bischoff has that connection, that WCW connection, which isn't a bad thing, but it's also like you want something different. I'm giving you Bret Hart, and I love Bret Hart, so there we go.
Done.
All right.
So, Dominic, quickly and efficiently lay out your guidelines for the draft, and let's do the first round of drafting and sign off.
Okay. So, what we're going to do is...
I'm going to grab a coin.
You're going to grab a coin. Okay. So, Marcus and I are going to flip to see who goes first. But what is going to happen here is we'll make... Marcus, do you want to do 5 picks? Are you in the vicinity to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think we should go with a lower number, something like 2 picks.
Let's do 3. Let's do 3 because that's the one I had in mind.
Okay.
So we'll do 3 picks tonight. So how it's going to break down, we're going to have 10 singles wrestlers. So 10 wrestlers in the men's singles division. Then you will also have 5 women wrestlers apiece in their division to build that aspect. 5 tag teams. And then we're each going to have 3 managers. Now, as far as the managers go, they can be managers that are there currently or people that have shown up in AEW at some point or another. Now, Marcus, what I wanted to present to you and ask you, as far as certain talent goes, like some aren't officially signed, some are, kind of gray area, some wrestlers have made some one-off appearances. How do we factor those in? Are they going to be just according to they were on AEW, so then they had a match, and so therefore they're up for picking?
Yes, I think if they've been on AEW and had a match, they should be up for grabs. But let's say that you pick somebody like that Jeff Cobb, who made I believe one appearance on AEW. Yes, exactly. Would that be a good draft pick with limited choices?
Here's the thing, though. Now, so he's officially signed with New Japan, so I think maybe we could not include him.
Well, he did wrestle for AEW, though, so I feel like it would be fine to pick him. However, would that be a good choice? You could certainly make an argument.
Cobb's awesome. If Cobb had him, if the AEW had him, he'd be like a top star there, or he should be.
Sure. But what was his significance in AEW? And that's what you have to ask yourself.
So that's another thing that we're going to do too, is ultimately at the end of this draft, like the week after we make our final selections, the week after we will make our pitch as to what our booking strategy and philosophy will be in executing our, like, how our roster is going to play out.
And I believe after the draft is fully complete, Dominic, you are going to post a poll.
I'll do a poll of some sort. Yeah, we'll try to work out the logistics of that.
So we'll see who won the draft, and then we'll see who does a better job of booking it.
Better job booking it, and maybe we can sway a few folks over that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll work that out. I just like the draft aspect of it. I think it's pretty fun. So there was one more thing I was going to ask you before we started. Shoot. I cannot remember. Oh, I wanted to just make a clarification. That's it. So factions are negligent. We're not worrying about factions. So like, like you can't draft like Team Taz, or you can't draft like the Death Triangle, stuff like that. I think that's fair, right?
Yes, but you can pick tag teams.
Oh yeah, tag teams. So yeah, tag teams are tag teams. So there you go. Now, if you pick a wrestler, you have to factor in the fact that if you're picking a wrestler, you're gonna eliminate. Say if you pick a wrestler that's in a tag team, you eliminate that tag team. Like you cannot, you don't get Ortiz if you draft Santana, just specifically. But I mean, you can draft if they're an established tag team. That's how you draft. That's how you can draft them. But you have to kind of factor that in too. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right, Mark.
All right, I'm going to flip the coin.
Flip it.
And here we go. What is your call?
Heads.
It is tails.
Wait.
Oh boy. Oh boy, Dominic.
Pressure's on. Now this messes up my game plan. I had a game plan coming in. It
does put me in a unique position. And Dominic, the question that I posed on Twitter following your post regarding this draft was who best exemplifies AEW. So to me, that is going to be a deciding factor in who I'm supposed to pick first overall. Who really exemplifies AEW and what they're about? And I don't think there's any correct answer except for Cody Rhodes. And so he is my number one pick.
I think that's a great choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great choice. Yes. You can't go wrong there. Okay. So this is who I'm going with. I am picking Jon Moxley is my pick.
Jon Moxley. I mean, you can't go wrong. The longest reigning AEW champion thus far.
Established as a baby face right now. You can't beat that, I feel.
No question about it. Except I'm about to beat it, Dominic, because my next choice is Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
See, that's good. That's good. Legacy talent, first ever AEW champion. I don't know how you can refute that. Marcus. I downplayed this earlier. It might have been strategic on my part. Might have been a little bit strategic, but I am making sure that the Revolution will be televised, and I am drafting none other than Ricky Starks.
That is way too early for that one.
No, it isn't.
In my humble opinion.
Because the ceiling is unlimited, man. You listen. My strategy. I'm conveying my strategy right now. What it was going to be. He was going to be my first overall pick because either way, you could have picked Cody. You could pick Mox, and I would have been fine with it. And I would have kept on rolling because this is all the plan, Marcus. The end game here is not just the draft, but how you convey what you do at the end of the draft. So, and we talked, Marcus, you put over Starks heavy in this earlier on.
Oh, by all means. But, we're talking, to me, when you're doing a draft, it's like, it's kind of like your Monopoly board, Dom, right? Where you're saying like, okay, who are the top stars? And you kind of draft in that way. So that
I'm not by the books, my friend.
Well, that being said, Dominic, I did not expect to get this opportunity, so I better pounce on it while I can. Dominic, as of right now, will have Cody Rhodes, I will have Chris Jericho, and I will have AEW champion Kenny Omega.
Well, yeah, okay. All right. Hey, and I can totally understand that, and that makes complete and total sense to me. So
seems impossible that I could have landed those three. With
you
my
got
first...
those three, and hey, you know what? Good for you. I'm very happy for you. Very happy for you. But, I'm going off that beaten path, and I'm okay with that. So,
all right.
Let's see here. I have my options open. So I'm going to think here of what I want to do.
I am blown away by your poor drafting skills right now.
No, it's not. I'm very happy. This is the roster I wanted to roll with. I got the 2 picks I've wanted so far. This is who I'm going with, Marcus.
I think that week after week, Dom, and before you give your answer, I think that week after week, you should do a poll. Say, okay, who won the first round of the draft? Who won the second round of the draft? So I am truly curious to see.
Okay. All right. Hey, that's fine.
But you have to list the people that we drafted. Yeah. So, yes. All right.
Okay, Mark. A women's wrestler has not been drafted. I think it's a vital part to the industry. And therefore, I am drafting Thunder Rosa.
That one hurts me. And she was actually going to be my 3rd overall pick. But then Kenny Omega plopped into my lap. And so I had to say, well, I'm going for it.
Well, enjoy it, Marcus, because I'm creating a team that will be unbeatable. So.
All right. Well, Dom, so how does it work next week then? Do you start it off? Do I start it off?
I started off. I think that's how we did it in the 90s draft is we did almost like this serpentine thing where it's okay, now I go back around. So.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That works for me.
What a first round. Plenty of options still on the board, Marcus.
There's a lot of meat left on the bone, Dominic. And let me tell you, I think that no matter what direction I move in next week, I'm gonna get some real stars.
Yeah, well, I get first pick next week, so
yeah. Let's see what you do with it, Dom. I think you may have dropped the ball this week.
Oh no, I'm in for the long game, Marcus. You're immediate thinker, okay? You're living in the moment at this moment. I'm thinking overall.
Well, hey, let's let our listeners decide. Go ahead and post that poll on Twitter.
All right, I will gladly, Marcus.